All right, we're trying to slowly plug away at previous projects that we never completed. And so that's what we're gonna do right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. Consequently, too obese to fit through that gap, but we made it. In previous episode, like way back previous episode, I think it was mentioned that when I went to start this tractor to move the number 2 co-op, that's when it was. I'm checking for flying creatures whilst I'm talking. But when I tried to move this tractor, I could not get it to start with the start button. And that, unfortunately, is a common problem that happens. The start switches are garbage, and they just don't hold up to what needs to happen. And so far, I have not found much good solution. I do know there is some variation in quality of those push buttons. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, it's on the other side. The gold push button. There is, of course, the cheapo farm store line of them, and they aren't worth a whole lot. So this time I got one from the old Napa store. Now, is it much better quality? I bet not. I bet it's the same thing made in the same factory, you know? But it makes me feel better spending more money than I did before. It's slightly differently made, so it maybe didn't come out of the exact same factory. But I have had this trouble on multiple occasions, and the other one that is doing the same thing now, we discovered whilst going to the fair, was the Super 66. So we're gonna have to do this treatment to it too, because it's pretty annoying not being able to start your tractor. What I did to start this to move it was I hooked the jump pack directly to the starter and just gave it a shot, fired it right up. So because of the nature of this, it would probably be easier to take the battery out so that we had some room in this hole to work. And strangely enough, now it's getting windy for no apparent reason. It's probably gonna find some way to harm us in our project. Oh, cool. That's gonna spin and not let us take it loose. And did Ross bring another wrench? No, he didn't do that because, you know, that would have made sense. What are the chances that the toolbox has something we can use so we don't... Awesome! We dropped that way down in there. There's a very spidered up pair of pliers. Does it have enough to help us hold? It shouldn't take much. Let's put that back before the spiders hatch. We don't need any of that. I guess I'm gonna have to go get more tools, because so far this project ain't working good. I should be able to get this easy, and I'm not. There. There's one. I hope you can see. I can't I can't really see in real life what I'm doing. The lighting is just wrong. Consequently, well, I guess while we're here, somebody asked me the other day what I thought about this style battery cutoff. And I have used them in multiple things where the height clearance is not a problem. And the only trouble I've really had with them is breaking one of these legs off. And then you don't have a whole lot going for you. What I usually do, because I'm too cheap to buy another one right away, is I usually fold this back behind when I make the connection. But that is the problem that I have encountered with them. However, they are a cheap, low-cost option and require no modification of any kind, you know, if you need something to use. I guess I did have one more problem with these. One time right out of the box, I broke one. And I'll show you, get this one off of here. This is made of like solid brass, and I broke one of these legs off tightening it right away. So exercise caution when doing that, I suppose, is the moral of my story. Otherwise, they have worked great for me and been very simple. Now, most folks would probably have brought a flashlight, but we already know that I don't operate like normal people would. But basically, we have on the top one the battery cable, and then our hot wire over to our gauges to make everything else work. And then on the bottom one we have the cable to our starter. So I'm supposing that we'll take those loose first, and this is another one of those I'm probably going to have to just do it by feeling, because I don't think I can contort myself where I can watch it and do the thing at the same time. But the reason I say that is when you put it back together, you don't want to forget about your power wire or nothing will work. This consequently is one that comes from Corvez and has a fuse in it. It's supposed to be protecting your stuff. So that's one. Let's see if we can somehow get this one. We don't have a lot of room in there at this point, what I'm saying. So you kind of got to get creative. And when we're done, we'll take the old switch apart and see if we can see how badly burned it is and why it's led us there. There I dropped the wire, but that's okay. Now, even though, like I said, I mean, I'll put you in here, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to really get a good view of what's happening. It's kind of dark in there, isn't it? Spooky? I don't know. These actually have a screw head on the outside, but I don't know if it's going to be. Usually I think you just kind of gotta use the screw to hold it and use the ratchet to do the real tightening work. We haven't really seriously lost any hardware yet, so I'm getting kind of concerned, you know. By now we should have had much more failure than we've had. So something terrible is coming. That's what I'm getting at. There it is. Ah! I'm sure you can see exactly what's happening, but I cannot. There's the only thing that's going to happen. We're going to lose our wrench. There. There. Is that all it took? No. Yeah, there we go. Okay. What did we accomplish there? I think we're gonna get it. look at how nice and shiny this looks as a new one. I mean, it's a brand new one and it's junk, and that really is terrible. So hopefully our new one will not be full of sadness. This one is, let's compare, slightly differently made. This one's got a plastic isolator, where this one's just got like a flap of rubber. And I don't know, this new one feels heavier, so that's a good sign. It might be full of actual materials instead of just nonsense. Let's see if we can get you back in there, switch. It works really slick to bolt this up first. I'm sure I'll do something dumb. Okay, there's one. There's two. I don't want to break my gauges, you know. Those were a gift from my mommy one year on Christmas. Way back when they first started making yellow face reproduction gauges. And they were super expensive, actually. Sure. All right. I hope that is adequate. I can't really see. Looks good. And then this will be a start cable. Let's try to put that on. Again, you kind of have to use your imagination. You can't really see what's happening. What's that look like? Does it look like we accomplished it? We're going to put that on there. We're going to not forget our wire. Which I can't see. I can see it, but I can't. Did I get it? Yeah. Okay. Let's put this on. All right. How's that looking to you? Everything's still hooked up. Hopefully some of that footage was usable. I mean, it's probably pretty dark in there, but also, let's be hoping that this battery is actually gonna hold enough of a charge, or still is holding a charge, that it's gonna let us do what we want. Oh shoot, come on, baby doll. I don't know what that was. Oh, that was a washer. Oh well. All right, let's put that down. Yes, battery's dead, but it'll do it. Okay, that's not a fail. That's a, I should have known that the battery was probably low. It's been sitting forever and ever. So we'll charge that up, but our switch does activate the starter now, which it did not do before. So that means this will run. It's just a matter of charging our battery. Let's take this apart and see what it looks like. I have a feeling it's a burnt mess. Can you see there? I hope so. We're gonna see if we can't make this do this thing. I might need some better tools than what I got here, because those tabs are pretty stiff. Let's see if we can trick it into playing with us, just like we had to do in school with friends. Ouch, that really was not smart. It'd be better to have a smaller screwdriver, wouldn't it? So we'll do the opposite and get a larger screwdriver. But it's better suited for the job. Alright. There we go. Look at that burnt mess. Right there is what was keeping us from making it happen. See, when you push the button, all you do is just push that and connect these two. So I'm gonna clean this up, and I bet you I could put it on the Super 66 and it would go all day long until this happens again. But I can use it as a spare, I guess. It did kind of burn the end off of it there, but it's still enough that I think I could bring it back around. I just have to clean that up good where there's no place on it that's gonna, you know, not make contact. So that's what I'll do. All right, I got this cleaned up, but it's very obvious why it failed, because it's paper thin. So it will probably start a few more times, but it's not going to be a long-term solution. If a guy could get this plate out of there and put a heavier contactor plate in there, you could probably make it last a while. But is it really worth it? I don't think that other Napa switch was that expensive either. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back together, and I guess we'll put it in the Super 66 because it's better than not starting at all, but it's just not good. These cleaned up really good. I mean, but they're thick enough that a guy could polish them up good. So anyway, we'll slap her back together here. And isn't it amazing that the only thing keeping it from burning to the ground is this little piece of cardboard paper? Yeah. We're gonna try to put a clean side, or should I say an unarced side, down this time. So those go in there. Then this side had a paper washer on each one. I mean, technically these switches are serviceable. It's just, do you really have the time to be doing something like this all the time? Instead of just living your happy life and putting on a good switch. I'm trying to decide if there's two different thicknesses of these nuts. I don't think there are. I think it's just an optical illusion. And if there are, who cares? It'll be fine. All right. Let's inevitably put this together and fail. Sure. There. Can't even tell that we've been in there. Now, for an illustration, I don't know if I can use the jump. I've been using this jump pack for inappropriate things. I mean, it's definitely not made for what I've been doing with it. All these tests and using it as a battery. All right. We're going to try to show you that this is fixed. 12 volts, 12.3. Can you see that on there? 12.3. This side should have none, but when I push the button, 12.3. So, granted this is low voltage, so it's not the same as if you had a, you know, a battery full power, which is what this is meant to do, the switch. So there would be a lot more arcing is what I'm saying inside, but for this it does work. So we should be able to put this on and have some success. All right, second verse, same as the first. Super 66. Nothing happens. So we are going to swap in the one we just fixed. Will this work? Why, I don't know. I wonder if I can get to this one without. It sounds like strange, like why wouldn't you be able to do that, but for some reason the Supers, there's just more room. I just have to make sure that I got what I all got on that top one. You know, there's 3 wires on this one on the top for whatever reason. Well, the reason is because there is a light switch for headlights on Supers, and it's not the combination switch. So that's why. Then we're going to struggle bus it. I wonder if that's a different size. Is that what's happening here? Am I struggle busing it, or is it actually the bigger size? Let's try this and see if this works. I don't think that's right either, but at this point, who cares? If it'll take it loose, that's all I care about. Now you can kind of see. So battery cable that we just took off, 2 wires that were in the top. One is our battery charging wire. One is our wire that sends power to our headlight switch. Now we gotta somehow get to that bottom one. Let's try. What is the deal? It's like these are just slightly off. I wonder if this one has like metric nuts. And the other one was standard, so anything's possible. Whatever. There. All right. Now we need, I was smart enough to bring a deep well of this one. There we go. Yes, this is also a cheapo rubber switch. So I expect to find in it the same struggles we found in this one. But that is neither here nor there. Let's see if we can't make this work. Kind of. All right. Put that there. Maybe. Is that right? I can't see what I'm doing. That little rubber flap is hosing us on that one. There. We're getting it. 2 wires. All right, now if we did our if we lived a good clean life, this is gonna fire right up. Better turn the gas on. There's a lot of oil in there, but that's good. It's got oil in it, probably about ready for an oil change. It should fire up. There we go. Sure. All right, that was a success. Amazing. We might actually drive it down to the shed now. Let's quickly, whilst we're here. Yeah, that one ain't no saving. That one is so burnt, she's gone. So, borrowed time for this one. This one goes in the scrap heap. But yeah, we'll pull out the studs and these nuts and stuff and save that, but otherwise the rest of this is toast. Cheapo parts, friends, cheapo parts. But we got 2 tractors back together. We bought 1 switch. Eventually we'll buy one for this one, but hey, it lives to run another day, and that's what we're after.